welcome everybody. Habage here, and delighted that you're coming along for another hardcore vanilla Minecraft ride. Just make a contraction out of that. Doesn't really work very well. So yesterday we got kicked in the teeth again, and had already, started rolling. I think we do need to uh, see it through with this iron project, and honestly, we're gonna see how today goes. See what we can pull out of a day of focused ironing, and see if we can't um, be good to go. Uh, I don't really fancy making an iron farm. I want to. Don't get me wrong. That is something, but as a part of HCMC, one of the things I said all the way back was you can get this done. You can do all this stuff without having to be overly dependent on massive machines and farms and kind of those kind of things. Now we did. That being said, we've done a drown farm. We had to get a trident. We've done the darkroom spawner for our XP. We made the gas hall, but trying to do them as minimally as possible, where we have kind of a lot of control. So kind of manipulating spawning, but not so much um, going for drops, or particularly setting it up where we end up AFKing or wanting to in places. And even the darkroom spawner has been tough when it comes to that. So yeah, we're doing all right now. One of the things that we hadn't set quite as well as we would have. Oh shoot! Now I remember. I totally didn't think of it the whole time we were gone. But yeah, we. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put one of those in there. It's just ready to go. We need to go back and get all the supplies out of the end test farm because we left that shulker box. And I don't know. I mean, honestly, it may end up just being boats and maybe some. I don't even know. We had levers and boats and pistons, slabs, so it may not end up being too terribly much good stuff. But one, I hate to leave the shulker, and two, um, I hate to lose anything else further in there. So this is full on just mop up, and I had overnight after the stream or after the recording, when I'd done a full stream after that, I wasn't thinking of this at all, that we were going to have to go do this. I kind of blissfully let it slip my mind. What I did think about a lot was, do we need to do. I'm pretty confident that one of two things happened in our boat as far as what happened to that shulker. Either um, well, and I think both would have been a result of it um, shooting at us while we were in the boat, right? But the things what I never found was that shulker was sitting anywhere else. Remember, we went down, kind of looked over that edge, went back out along the path, peeked around all these areas. We never saw it. And that is obviously problematic. We lost him. And the two possibilities, I think, are either that he died, that eventually, just with all his attempts to shoot me, he wore down all of his hearts. Because as far as I know, like in the shulker farms, where if they hit one another, they can have a chance of generating another one or whatever. Um, they can eventually kill each other. I know that's a possibility. And then the other, um, The other thing is, if they get below a certain level of health, just like when we're trying to kill them, they do have a chance of teleporting. I'm guessing that it was more a matter of it just building up the damage to itself. So there would be two solutions there. Maybe we roll with just a bunch of health potions and try to keep it healing up as it's cruising along, or regen even, right? Would actually probably work a little bit better. But I don't think it's practical on that long of a boat ride to just, for one thing, we'd have to probably get out of the boat to hit it. I don't think that just spinning around and trying to throw a potion in a boat while seated to try to get the back passenger is going to work very well. I think it's going to waste a lot of potions and would probably need more than we have. If he's consistently hitting himself, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? And doing that damage, I don't know that we could keep up, and I don't really want to just try to find out without a better reason in mind. So we'll let that one go. Assume that it was probably that he killed himself, and that's why we didn't find it, and assume that we need to do a better job of preventing him from taking that damage himself. So what does that mean? Well, I think the minecart is going to help on that a lot. He'll be able to open up and look around. I think the minecart will partially obscure his vision, so he won't be as inclined to. I don't even want to look. I'm afraid it's all boats. I think there were slabs though too, but honestly, the most valuable things were the pistons and levers, and we'd already taken those out. But not good to leave stuff around, and I think at some point we'll want to clear out that city, but we got bigger things to focus on at the moment. So in the minecart, it has higher sides. I think when he opens up and tries to look around, he'll be less likely to see us and therefore shoot. I think it was Pixel Riffs that made the most helpful video I've seen in Shulkers, and I'd looked at it back when we were kind of first figuring this out, and I went back and rewatched, skipped kind of through some sections the other day, as I was trying to get a little more clear on what was going on. And as far as I know, there's no real answer to what I encountered in that video. But it in it, he takes a shulker in a boat and pushes it into a minecart, or pushes the minecart into the boat. So then the shulker in the boat pops into the minecart, or vice versa. The minecart actually kind of looks like it's sitting inside the boat. It's a little smaller and taller, and the shulker is sitting inside the minecart. So it's kind of just all happy and contained in there, right? And if you, at least according to that video, and I know it wasn't 18, so I don't know if there's any changes. With our luck, there will be, and it won't work. But supposedly, you throw down just unpowered iron basic rails, and the little shulker will give it enough mass or whatever to just keep rolling. And then we can run along behind it and just try to keep up as it goes. And if we keep it just out of range, he'll not want to not want to shoot at us. And then we just catch up. We run a track along here, right? And I know I'm kind of extending this just a little bit, but so we run a track along here, unpowered rail, but all the way. Push him in the boat to that little lever piston that we just jumped up on top of. Push that into the minecart or vice versa. Everything's all in. They're on the rails, and then they go shooting off along this little journey. We follow along behind so it never gets out of spawn and has a problem on that end, but is otherwise good to go. Before all the disaster happened, when we, kind of like walking out this way and like, yeah, maybe after all the luck with the blue ice boats in the nether, I was thinking about maybe we blue ice this to speed it up and make that a really fast trip. Not going to do that at all. Obviously, the rails, it was kind of an either or, because I was thinking, okay, if we did blue ice and the shulker throws out a projectile, I don't think it can hit itself or me, right? We'd be moving so fast that as soon as that projectile generated, we'd be already blocks and blocks beyond. And either it would go really badly and everything would hit us, or it would never be able to be close. We'd be leaving those fired projectiles in our wake and wouldn't have an issue. So from that side, good solution, right? No way the shulker takes as much damage, less time for the shulker to even get shots off, and we're there and done before it has a problem. Good idea. However, in my experience, ice boats, particularly at the end, get a little funky. Like, there are times if you are coming in hot to the final station and jump out, it can do funky things and pop you through walls. I've had ones where I've had to like break out of the wall and try not to suffocate. There was one in Slow Cooker where we kind of ended up coming out the far side of the wall over lava, and that was exciting. I don't want to have that chance in the void or above the void, right? Like, oh yeah, you're cruising along, you're making awesome time, and then as soon as you try to exit the boat, left shift, or the boat slams into a wall as it's going around those two turns, everything pauses because the game's trying to catch up, and the next thing you know, you're just plummeting into the void. I don't think that's worth the the risk for a little bit of speed. So we're gonna go, at least in this part, with the minecart delivery system of the shulker, and we'll hope it works and gets us our candidate to here. Then we close him in, right? Hop out of the thing, get out, throw some health potions on him when he gets here just to make sure, or we may even take him all the way here and just break the boat and minecart and assume that if we do it within here, he's got to go to his spot, and then just get out of dodge so he doesn't shoot himself, right? We'll see. Not sure exactly how that's going to go, but that's kind of my thinking around getting the rails laid is don't risk the ice in the boat so we don't end up in the void. Hopefully that keeps it from shooting more because we won't physically be in the minecart boat combo with it. And hope that gets us to the point of bringing it. Oh, we had glowstone too. Bringing it over to the overworld, and that's where those lived. So that's good. Think we're good here now, and I don't know what did we have the flint and steel for? Were we lighting portals? Also, the toolbox is downstairs, so let's go finish all this up. We also have this. We had set these to run. There, much more comfortable. Alright, let's celebrate with a juicy steak. Okay, back down, sort out the toolbox, put the little flint and steel thing away, stash this supplies box for the end stuff. This now is our rail, and how we doing here? Pretty decent. This can go in there. Let's just go ahead and grab these. I'd rather know what do we need. And is it sticks or planks? What do we need? Sticks. Not very many. Read. Got 9 sticks. No more sticks there. All right. Did we ever put sticks here? I don't think so. We think, yeah, here we go. I just don't want to run all the way back upstairs. Hey, Slimy. Is he coming? All right. Okay. That helped. Definitely got a lot closer. Remember, we're trying to get this filled, and that should get us back across. So I think with that being done, it's a little tedious, and I'm very much concerned that we're going to get lost and endlessly look for our way back. But let's go. Let's go hit this mine, and we'll hunt for iron as well as the rails. No bucket of water is a huge bummer. We found that out last time. Here we go. Everything we need. Oh, no. I think this was an access, though, right? Let's go up here. Alright, here we go. And the big concern that I still have, I'm pretty confident that if we do this, and it won't be a huge delay, I'm pretty confident that then we can get uh, get the shulker back to 0-0. We still have to finish up that room a little bit, but that should be pretty quick. Using what iron we did have is pretty good way to jumpstart all this. Yeah, this one doesn't have any rails, does it? I have no feel for this. At least in the Franny abandoned mine shaft, I kind of am like, all right, well we can go here, 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 and here. This one, this doesn't even look like we've been up here. Did I just hear a bow? Guess we grab some gold while we're at it. I have been I've been playing in that other world that I started, just for my own fun, and I find that between like stream and recording these episodes, there's still like upload time, and particularly in what is currently a pretty intense sports season, and we haven't even, we haven't started Winter Olympics or anything like that, which I don't know that I'm going to watch a ton of. I don't know. We'll see. I've seen enough Olympics in my lifetime now to, kind of know it's one of those. Either you're going to kind of get caught up in it and really enjoy it, or you're just going to kind of let it go. And sadly, I've come to kind of expect that the coverage won't really be aimed at my demographics so much. I've talked about all this before, but um, unless you've got one of the like premier sports packages, like I think usually NBC, who here in the United States is the broadcaster that does a lot of the Olympic coverages. They do an app and they do a package on their affiliate channel, cable channels, and all that um, will let you watch more. And there they may do a better job on covering some of the in-depth events, but I'm a little gun shy of paying for any of that, even if it was like a stream package, which to me seems like the no-brainer. I mean, I get it, right? They're all like, well, if we're gonna pay for all of this, we don't just want to make your, 25, $30 to buy a package for the couple weeks that it's going on. We want you to buy, either expand. The old thinking, of course, is expand your cable subscription to include um, some of our premium channels in your package, and I think that's kind of, dated at this point. I think everybody's kind of moved on to where, look, I want on demand, um, just kind of, boutique web service stuff where I'm getting, I guess maybe a la carte is better than boutique, but it's the same kind of, I want a custom product that meets uh, the interests that I have, not what you're selling. Um, and of course that goes back here in the United States again. I don't know how other countries handle all this, but the cable TV industry of the 90s and 2000s, at least, it evolved to where, yeah, the old traditional broadcast networks all had affiliates, and of course, there was cable news and all that kind of stuff that gets a lot of talk, and there was our 24-hour sports, which is ESPN. In Canada, it's TSN. I think UK has Sky Sports, some of those various things, and whether they're as exclusive as ours has been for quite a while, and for a long time, ESPN's position of dominance has been attacked by everybody else, right? They all want to cut that business. So there's Fox Sports and all these other the broadcast networks that kind of missed the boat on that, right? When CNN was becoming the 24-hour news cable source, and everybody's like, why would you need news 24 hours a day? And people quickly realized, hey, we can do that with sports too. Um, there may not be live sports all the time, but in those quiet hours, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. kind of times, we'll just show some obscure sports that are really cheap for us to buy the rights to, like ping pong or, horse racing, things like that. And we'll put those on in the off-peak hours, fill up the time slots on, non-live, but sports that are obscure enough that people will just go, hey, what's that? As they're surfing channels and hang out and watch. And of course, it was a huge success. Everybody now wants a piece of that. Well, um, for the Olympics, all these networks are like, or the one here that does it, but it's similar with, like, college basketball or the Super Bowl, or not the Super Bowl because that goes on whatever the main availability is, but oh, Formula One and things like that. They'll put that on a side channel, and then the cable providers used to go, okay, well, if you want to get that, you've got to buy either our Super Sports package, and okay, so that gets you then the broadcast sports dedicated channels plus maybe a couple extra ESPNs, the racing channel, and all that. So you get a lot more of that content now that there's loads of channels of it. But then what the broadcast people do is they're like, well, we've also got a movie channel and a shopping channel or something else like that. So we're going to take this content and further split it out. So for the 2 weeks of the Olympics, the NBC shopping channel or the NBC movie channel, any of those, they're all going to start showing these games too. And that may not be in the expanded sports subscription. So now you've got to expand your subscription again to channels that you don't want to watch for the rest of the year just to get that little bit of content. And that's kind of what was the most off-putting thing to me about the Olympics for a long time since, was just, hey, as much as I would be glued to it if I could watch it at a reasonable rate, it's not a reasonable rate to pay for, because then the cable company's like, well, you're not just getting a month, you're up in a subscription for a year, or a billing cycle, whatever that may be. So it always kind of felt like it was stacked against. And as much as I love all the winter sports, the skiing and the ice hockey in particular, but all the snowboarding stuff for sure. Curling is a fun side one. Biathlon and cross country skiing, I would love to see more of. All those kind of things are right up my alley. And, really about the only thing I'm not super excited about is speed skating and figure skating. And even then, if it's like a super medal or something like that, or the U.S. or something came out of nowhere to compete, yeah, I'll give it a watch. But that's when I'm like, we're really hyping up the costume choices here and going into a lot of detail on all that, and then they have to go do the 20-minute biopic on where the people grew up, and is there a romantic attachment between the male and female figure skater? And I'm kind of like, all right, yeah, this is no longer going after the sports fan so much. So I don't know. Like I said, I love over the winter or over the Summer Olympics. Like I said, I love the idea of the Olympics and what it can be, bringing any chance to bring the people of countries together and find out that, hey, no matter what our leaders say, you and I aren't that different. We've got, we all care about our families. We all have common interests in games and sports, and what constitutes a good life and all that. That's what really facilitates us being all part of a more interconnected world. Twitch does that. I love that. YouTube does it as well. I know loads of folks have said hello in the comments over the time that I've been doing this. Pretty much India, and then a lot of I don't know where you are. Now I do. A lot of various places in Europe. So that's been really cool for me to get to know those people. But that's again, when your leaders are saying, oh, those people are our enemies, and you're like, dude, I chat with people all the time from this country. Why on earth would we think they were enemies. They seem really cool. That's when uh, all of us little folk kind of start going, no, government nonsense. We're not playing like that. But, that being said, I am a historian by education. I'm not naive or young enough to idealistic enough to think that, oh, there's never going to be conflicts and there's never a time when um, the use of force isn't justified. I hope I said that right. There are times when diplomacy fails and you have to stop things before they get worse. World War II, in my mind, is the perfect example of that. And so many people after that were left going, why didn't anyone step in earlier? And that's the whole point, is that for a long time people were clinging to the hope of peace, and not becoming engaged in another conflict so close on the heels of World War One that a lot of bad stuff went on in the meantime. So, um, wow, that's a big rant. But the point is, I love that the Olympics brings the people that are athletically driven together, and that spirit that the people that play together aren't going to fight one another. They're going to continue to compete. And just the idea of wanting to have that um, is ongoing. And I realize I'm saying that in the midst of the U.S. making some nonsense sounding like boycott, and it's not even meaningful. It's like, oh yeah, our athletes are going to go and all the marketers are going to go, but just our politicians aren't going to go talk. I kind of like, well, good. It seems awesome. Can we do that every time? I think there's a little bit of a, probably the people that are least or most impacted by that are our own athletes not getting the props and respect out of their efforts. But for if given the chance of either you don't get to go or the politicians don't get to go and see you compete or see you enter on the I don't think we got enough enter in the opening ceremonies or whatever, I think they'd say in a heartbeat, I don't care if a head of state or somebody from the government is sitting in the stands. Get me on the field, right? That's the priorities are priorities. So that's why it seems a little silly. It's like, when I was a kid, both the U.S. and the Soviet Union took turns boycotting one another's hosting of the Olympics. And this was at the height of the Cold War. And it was stupid then, because it was like, oh, well, if you're going to do that to us, we're going to do it to you. And, it just became obligatory as opposed to any significant statement. And so often, political things are those little games that anybody else, it seems silly. Like, what? Okay, whatever. But I mean, I guess that's a part of the game. So I hope whatever nonsense is already being hyped into uh, this Winter Olympics is kept minimal, and I hope it seems like, at least here, and feel free in the comments. Are you guys still? Does it feel like COVID is kind of loosening up where you're at? And I know, we've been through these cycles a little bit, but it's certainly better to be in a down cycle than an up cycle. And at least where I live, it feels like we've kind of gotten past that spike. The spike is not still growing. It's still a spike. There's still a lot of cases happening right now, but all of those numbers are backing off once again. All right, so this is where we were before. Let's drop down here. I wish there were more rails in this little area. Saw your enchanted bow. Skelly. Rails? Have we been right in this? Yeah. Seemed like we're up higher than that, but yeah, we were all right in here just a bit ago. Let's get this knocked down, and we'll leap. Go get you. Where'd you go? I came down to get that Skelly, and he was gone. Skelly, where are you? There you are. Alright, now we seem to be out of rail area, though. Got some iron here. So what else can we talk about? It's a little less heavy and deep. What are your favorite winter sports? Do you guys have? Have fun winter sports. Having grown up in the upper Midwest of the United States, I am used to cold winters, and I'm actually going back to visit. Just kind of midwinter trip here in a few weeks. Don't know what that's gonna look like. Now that we're streaming Stardew, I don't know. Maybe we extend that holiday series, go back and revisit the Habbage world. But was this where we just were? Ooh, it's that way. This seems like our little harvesting area. I think we're doing a loop. Now we're just back over there. All right, I think we've beaten this one to a pulp. Anything down low here? No, this seems like we're out of the mines. So let's not waste too much time. I don't want to do this area where we work. Although I guess it's all moth-eared and picked on anyway. How long have we been going? 37. I think enough time to go down and look for rails in this other section. Let's also quick fortune what ore we do have. Let's put these in there. I'll put that away, grab these out. That's a lot of ore. That might honestly get us done, but I think while it's cooking, we can be doing a bit more. Because again, I am very concerned that I forgot the fortune axe, didn't I? That we are going to need to do mine rails and some kind of like a monorail elevated thing above the water all the way out to the island. If Shulker number 2 dies what? Why did that? That wasn't a good thing. Oh, sorry about the trash guy too. I hear him going in the background there. Oh, what was I saying? Oh, monorail. Yeah, if we get the second Shulker to 0-0, get him positioned in, and I was already thinking that minecart over the land might be easier because we can power rail through the uphill. Oops, and get the Shulker to the water that way, probably a lot quicker than trying to, make elaborate pistons and a water trough or something like that to flow it over the contours of land, or tunneling out all the all the land in between or anything like that, right? So I don't know. We'll see how. Oh, the stone we got. We're doing really good on stone. Maybe I should be grabbing cobble. Alright, whatever. We're not worried about that right now. Let's put these things away. That away. Oh, I don't have any room. Shoot. Oh, these planks. What am I doing? Just deep slate? What do we do with the deep slate? Is it all upstairs? Do I not have a single deep slate area down here? Is that possible? What do I do down here? These are just... Oh, that... Were we looking for polished something? Oh, we were making buttons. And yeah, doing the framing around the ice highway. So long term, because I think that looks pretty cool. If we do a longer run ice highway after we get through all this, where is the... This is cobble deep slate. This is deep slate. So it was this one, deep slate. There. All right. There. Grab that out. We'll get there. But yeah, we we may need to keep this project going a little bit longer. Stack. And that really... so it was 6 to 16 is the ratio of iron bars to rails. And it's a 3 to 8. So I think... Oh, look at that. When did we cook all these? Oh, I'm so happy. No iron there. All right, well, that's some. Let's go ahead and make these up. Maybe we can... Oh, well, here's part of the problem. Why are we storing multiple stacks of sticks? Oh, look at all that. How close are we now? Oh, so good. Okay. I still have a bit too much. That's one short, but we can pull this. Grab these back out. I don't think we have to go after more rails, at least for that first stage. The rest is still open. So we can probably plan that next episode we'll maybe go finish the end, run that rail all the way through. And I don't know. I think before I send the little Shulker guy through, I want to make sure that we have that hole in that room ready to go. So we wanted some sandstone for that. Let's make some sandstone while we're standing here. isn't gonna meet all our needs, I don't think, but we've got quite a bit, and we have a lot of sand. So let's just do a couple batches of this. It'll give our iron time to cook as we do this episode. So I'm really thinking that we're gonna line sandstone. Boom, boom, boom. Line that entire hole, the whole hole, the entire hole. There we go. Get that full dumpster bank. Line the entire hole with sandstone blocks, and then do some copper for the accents and for a half slab floating floor to hopefully get us close to the spawnable block I'm going to leave for the shulker. And then that will let him come through to a predictable spot. Hopefully we'll be able to then use what we've learned on the getting him back into a boat and perhaps get him into a minecart in a boat in the same way. Keep him all happy and content, and then be able to shoot him on at least to the shore, if not all the way. I guess that's, if you feel like adding comments on this video and want to answer a question outside of what is your favorite Winter Olympic sport, what's your experience? Or do you? Goodness gracious, it's a lady yawning. Do you have a particular experience, one way or another, on whether it's practical to take a shulker in an overworld boat across water? I don't need details. I don't need a trick on how to do it or anything like that. I'm just curious. In your experience, is it worthwhile or is it way too much of a headache? Don't do it. I'll definitely take that as a comment or something like that to go talk to. Now we've got lots of rail. That's good though. We want to be loaded up and not have to worry about it. We'll take the rest of this upstairs, but now our rail immediate project is done. That extra iron cooking is going to be a big help. And clearly, if you're starting from scratch and trying to set this up, Iron Farm makes any of this stuff really, really easy. Then it's just a no-brainer. Again, I'm just trying to not set us up for a lot of time spent AFKing. That's why I was making sandstone, right? Instead of bopping around too much. All right. Well, now I think we are set up to where in the next episode we can go back to our Shulker Bridge in the end and start laying this track. And we'll have to move torches. They shouldn't be a problem, but I think that just having the minecart rail there won't throw off the fact that we've been keeping those bridges free of Endermen, I hope. I think between the light and the materials there, we should be good to go. So we'll run a layer of track. I think I'll put it down the middle and reset the torches. And that should be good in terms of getting us set for that phase of the Shulker, attempt number 2. Right? We got lots to keep trying here and figure it out as we go. But if we can get all that set and prepped and ready to go, then we can come back, use that sandstone to line the holes, see if if we need more, we can keep compressing the stuff we got in the desert, or we can make a trip to the desert and just gather up some sandstone as well. Um, and yeah, I was thinking copper to go along with that for a little bit of decor, and the slabs will be essential, and we'll use the cut copper for that. But I think in the walls itself, we can put in a little decor as well. So keep all that in mind. I can't wait to see you guys for the next one. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, likes and comments always appreciated, and subscribing is the best way to keep on top of whatever's coming next. So check it all out, and let me know if you've got your own content. We will see you for the next one. I'm out of here. Take care. Have a wonderful beginning of your weekend, and we'll see you all soon. Bye now.